Hello my friends and welcome back to Ration Nerd. Today we are getting into the ration that all of you chose when I put up the poll about what ration I was going to review this week. This is a Defence Forces of Ireland 24-hour ration pack. Menu A. This thing was supposedly expired in February of 2025. We don't care about that. We're just going to get into this ration. We're going to have a good time. If anything is rancid, we're not going to eat it. I highly doubt it. It may be pretty obvious to some of you that have seen other British ration pack reviews that this looks like the exact same thing, just relabeled with a Defence Forces of Ireland logo. It may be obvious to some of you that have seen British ration packs that this looks exactly like the British ration pack bag. But we're going to break into this 24-hour ration pack. We're going to find out if everything survived. I'm sure it did. And if you like to survive, especially the snow apocalypse that just recently happened to all of us, you know what you could do for this guy as I'm using my snowblower to dig out my extraordinarily long driveway. You could hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and talk to me in the chat. It is always a great time to hear from you guys. And the ration that we're going to be giving away for the month of February is this Swedish single meal ration, menu number 9. I'm seeing the word raspberry right there through the packaging. That kind of cues you in at least something you're going to get in there. But if you join me on Patreon for the low cost of $5 a month, you are basically entered into a raffle to get a free ration every month, courtesy of this guy. Patreon info up on the screen. Hit me up on Patreon. Join the Patreon for the $5 a month, and this ration could potentially be yours. Just ask my Patreon members. They've gotten a fair few rations from this guy right here, because that's what I like to do. I like to have fun and share with the community. This thing is roughly the same weight as your standard British ORP. But let's crack into this menu number A, see what we're getting for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and just like everything else, we're going to go at it from the back, because that's my favorite way to go at it. So let's see if I can preserve this bag and not butcher the shit out of it on my way in. Very unlikely, but we'll give it our best college try. So let's see what's on the menu for this Ration Nerd today. It looks like we have an accessory kit. We'll get into that here in a minute. We've got some Tutti Frutti flavored drink powder. This is exactly like a British ration. Really do like me some Tutti Frutti drink powder though, so we are starting out with hydration, which is always important. We got a little pack of Sambal, which really doesn't taste like much of anything. I wish they would either give you way more of this or change the recipe or something. It's cool though. You have something to season your food. We have an apple flavored fortified energy drink powder, keeping it hydrated. Hydration is good. If you're not hydrating, you really should. You should drink more water. It'll make you a rock star. It'll make you a better person. It'll make you nicer. It'll make you feel better. It also helps you with some certain things that we really shouldn't discuss here on this channel. Back to the ration. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. We have that orange cake. That is absolutely orange flavor cake. Love it. 85 grams. Love the chocolate. They also have a gingerbread in this exact same manufacturer that's absolutely banging. Didn't mean to go into too much nonsense there, but we have 85 grams of orange of flavored cake for your desserting goodness. And we have a peach iced tea fortified energy drink powder. More drinks coming in hot. And we have some cola bottles. I've had these in a British ration. Absolutely loved them. Can't wait to crack into some cola bottles. That's a good look. Little snack action. Then we have a big honkin' 60-gram hot chocolate flavored drink powder. And this is certainly not a ration that you'll have problems hydrating with, because we've already got 4 drink options out on the table, not including what may be in this accessory kit, which we'll get to here in a moment. Make that 5 fruit flavored drink powder. We're all over the place. We got fortified energy drink powders, just regular old energy drink powders. Then we have a really large and in charge 100-gram package of just nuts. That's peanuts, almonds, and cashews. Certainly not a bad nut mix. Hopefully these survive the test of time. Sometimes they get a little stale, but stale does not mean inedible. And then we've got the fruit flapjack, another British ration item that I'm really hot to trot about. I'm only sad that we got the 50-gram version and not the big bar, but the fruit flapjack is 100% amazing for this guy. Then we have a pack of 5 windproof, waterproof matches and a striker, all sealed up in a nice little baggie. Very convenient packaging. Maybe not a box, maybe not a cool little pill bottle this is all contained in, but you certainly still have them, and you get a striker to go along with. That's always good stuff. Then we have an 84-gram pack of biscuits browned, which I absolutely love, but these are more like biscuit hunks, it feels like. These took a little bit of a beating in the shipping process. That shit happens. Then we have our first 300-gram Maine Pindi Chana Aloo. I was not aware that that was a common household meal in Ireland, but we have 300 grams of Pindi Chana Aloo. Then we have something that sounds a little bit more Irish. We got a sausage casserole coming in at 300 grams. I'm not sure if that's a breakfast item. Not really sure. We'll have to figure it out. A little sausage casserole action. Now that's really neat. We have 160 grams of long grain white rice, which will go really good with that Pindi Chana Aloo. That's a great add for a ration, to have some rice to put with a main like this that tends to be very saucy, which is awesome. 160 grams of long grain white rice. We'll certainly put that to the test. And we have 6 water purification tablets, which is one of the smartest things you could ever put in a ration. Each one of these is good for 1 liter of water, so you can treat 6 liters of water with this tiny little barely weighs anything pack of tablets. Awesome ration edition. Water purification tablets in the house. And then we have your all-day breakfast: pea beans, pork sausages, rusk, wheat flour, salt, raising agent. Yeah, this is apparently breakfast. Doesn't sound like breakfast to this guy, but apparently it's what we're having. 300 grams of all-day breakfast for you. And last but absolutely not least, we have a sachet of Andros strawberry jam, and I'm going to enjoy the shit out of that. Andros jam is some of the best on the planet, especially that you get in these little sachets. It's absolutely amazing. I'm super happy to see it. And that is everything out of the bag. And let's check out this accessory kit before we move on to getting some breakfast on the boil. We've got 4 packages of Barista Selection Beverage Whitener. Glad to see it. Very nice to see you, buddy. We've got 4 packs of diabetes powder, which was oddly enough packaged in China. So 4 4-gram sugar packs. And we have 2 packs of instant coffee, the bean of the gods, also packed in China. Not sure how I feel about that, and not sure about logistically if China winds up... Yeah, never mind. We're not even going to go into politics. Maybe not a great idea to have Chinese components in your ration in case, for some reason, they decide to cut you the fuck off and not give you any more coffee. That would kind of suck. We've got 2 tea bags. Tea is always good. We have 9 grams of dental gum or chewing gum. Try that out later. So since there's only 2 of these items, I'm going to call them the bifecta, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but it sounds kind of stupid. We have a pack of tissues and 2 really handy moist towelettes, which I have used before. These are great moist towelettes. Tissues are always great. You can wipe that nose, you can wipe that face, you can wipe that butt, you can even wipe your friend's butt, and then you can get a little cleanup on aisle 5. I would certainly save these for my beehole. My fingers would just have to be dirty, because having a clean butthole is a really important thing. Otherwise, it gets all stinky and itchy, and it's just bad. So, 2 moist towelettes and a pack of tissues, which is absolutely awesome for any ration. That is badass. And last but not least, we have that traditional size British face bucket that you can load up pebbles in and launch them at the enemy out of your trench. This is the newer style of British face bucket, much smaller, sleeker, easier to fit in your face so you don't have to crack the corners of your mouth when it's really cold outside to get this big ass bucket in your face. But we're going to use this big ass bucket to eat these meals, so that is the last item in the ration. And of course you get this nice Ziploc bag for, well, extra components, or I don't know, whatever you want to use it for. Smothering the enemy, pooping in, all kinds of great things you can do with a Ziploc bag. Alright my friends, well this is everything contained in an Irish Defence Forces ration. I'm going to get some breakfast out onto a tray, and then I will be right back. Alright my friends, well I am back with some breakfast. It's early, and we boiled this package just like this, because down here in the ration dungeon I can be a little noisier, but I certainly didn't want to wake up Mrs. Ration Nerd, because that would have been ignorant as shit. So here's your quiet boil footage.
Gotta be quiet, everybody's still sleeping. So we're gonna be boiling, sing a song, off.
And as you can see, what we have are the biscuits brown, some of that Andros strawberry jam, that fruit flapjack, because that damn thing is going to be good as hell. Then we have some all-day breakfast beans. We've got some coffee with the creamer and the sugar. We've also got that apple fortified energy drink powder. Seemed like the right thing to do for breakfast. And some tea. So the first thing we're going to do The absolute first thing we're going to do, because you know that I haven't had it, but I absolutely fucking need it, is this coffee. So we have some Chinese coffee in a ration that was produced by Great Britain for Ireland. That shit gets around, doesn't it? So let's check this coffee out. Now that is a really, really light freeze-dried crystal, so kudos on them for having a nice freeze-dried. Let's give it a little snifferoo. Doesn't smell bad. Certainly doesn't smell very powerful or potent, but we will give that its day in court here in just a second. And you know we're not getting away with coffee. Actually, you know what we will do first? We will put the hot water in it. Then we will give it a sip by itself to test it, and then we'll do cream and sugar. But let's get that Fortified Energy Drink Powder Apple going on. That does have a nice little tear notch right there. I wonder exactly what this is fortified with. Probably maltodextrin, which is always good. If you consume maltodextrin, you may want to be aware that if you have any arrhythmias, which is a heart condition where your heart doesn't beat properly, maltodextrin can absolutely give you heart palpitations, which you should absolutely be wary of. And there you go. Sugar, maltodextrin, acidity regulators, etc., chemicals, junk and stuff, magnesium carbonate, flavorings, sodium chloride, sounds great, and vitamin B1, so it's fortified with maltodextrin and B1. Great job. And we'll stage up that tea for some nice hot water action. Let's give that a little sniff, see what this tea is all about. That doesn't smell like much. I'm sure to most people that were tea drinkers, they would not be excited to sniff that tea bag. Didn't really have much of a smell at all to it. And we're only going to use one tea bag and one pack of the coffee. Probably save the other ones for giveaways, but let's check out this coffee. We're not going to go too crazy with the water. Maybe about 6 ounces. The tea, however, we will dump the remainder of the hot water in and give that a good long time to get its steep on. Wait. You don't know what I mean by get your steep on? Let me show you. I get your steep on. I get your steep on. I get your steep on. All right, that's the last time I do that for this video, I promise. And let's get that water rocking in this apple fortified beverage. Give everybody a little swizzeroo here. All right, you know I've got to get this in my face, so we need to get the cream and sugar in here really goddamn quickly, so let's give this a sniff. Now that it's hydrated, it smells a little bit more like coffee, but I am not exactly happy about the smell that I'm receiving. Let's go ahead and give this a taste with nothing added. You know, and for an instant freeze-dried, that is really not very strong in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to hate on it completely. It's just kind of okay. Let's see if we can jazz it up with some cream and sugar. I'm just going to go with the one sugar. I was going to dump both of them in there, but that coffee is not strong enough to warrant more than 4 grams of sugar. And I guess we'll try just 1 pack of cream in the beginning. Well, that's a little on the chunky side. It'll be okay. We'll just mix that up. It's not real milk anyway. Steep. I didn't do it though. Anyway, let's try this coffee now that we have 4 grams of sugar and 1 pack of the creamer in there. That's not that bad. It could probably use that other pack of sugar. I'm just going to go ahead and save it. Maybe I'll go ahead and put 1 pack of that sugar in the tea. Give it the best chance of tasting yummy, at least to these taste buds. Give that sugar a little stir around in there. We're still going to give that tea some time to steep. And let's start getting the rest of this out here. This is nice and hot. I boiled this furiously, as you could see. So this is a nice hot 300 gram main of all day breakfasts. So let's get this mess out onto the tray and see what kind of bean dish we're having for breakfast. That's a hell of a way to start the day. 300 grams of farts. That is absolutely amazing. Not sure if that's the greatest idea. Everybody will hear and smell your soldiers coming. We'll see how it goes. Looks like there's some cornstarch or something in here thickening up that sauce because it's got a very gooey, stringy appearance. So that's definitely some kind of starch that was used in the sauce to make it a little thicker. Not necessarily a bad thing, just kind of, I don't know, a little odd. Let's see exactly how beat the hell these biscuits brown have become. Hopefully not too bad. Maybe I was just deceived by the packaging. Well, they took a bit of a beating. Let's get them all out here, see what happened to our yummy-ass biscuits brown. We'll just lay that over 2 parts of the tray. And that fruit flapjack, that yummy little square of oaty, fruity, yummy, chewy fucking roll of goodness. Hell yes, give me that thing. Look at that guy. That is sexy as hell. Mainly because I know it's good. And we have that jam that we will get out here as soon as we're ready for some biscuits brown. But before this mess gets cold, let's go ahead and tuck into this. So we have some standard itty bitty baby beans, the same type of beans you would find in pork and beans over here in the US. We have some little sausages, which are very soft to the touch. We have some kind of meat product in here. Is that a piece of chicken? Is that tofu? Is that luncheon meat? I'm not 100% sure. Definitely some kind of processed meat hunk that was just kind of tossed in here with the mix. So we have about 5 of those little baby sausages. This essentially just looks like baked beans with some strange meat added. This is definitely a strange bit of meat here. We're gonna go for that right off the bat. Try to put this mystery to bed. Let's see what that is. I'm not 100% sure. Let's bring it up to your face so you can check it out. That is very odd looking. Looks like a processed luncheon meat to me, but let's knock it back in ye old face hole because you know I love mystery meat. All right, so after having read the ingredients list to try to figure out what this is, the only thing I can identify this as is what they're calling pork rind. Maybe that's just an additive in here. Maybe they consider this some kind of sausage, but by the way that it's layered, it just looks like some kind of luncheon meat. If I had to be honest, it tastes more like a chicken loaf lunch meat that's been saturated in this beans and juice. It's not bad. It's just kind of soft and mushy. Not much in the texture department, but let's go ahead and get another bite of that really odd looking. I mean, I'm telling you, that barely looks like meat to me. It's almost one of those like starch-based fake meat products, but you know, what the hell? Let's get another bite. Not the worst thing I've ever had, not very interesting. Let's just go ahead and get a big old spoonful of everybody for you. Throw one of those little sausages on there so you can check that out as well. Try to bring this up to you without dumping it directly on my face, which would really suck. There's your second bite going in the old face, a little bit of the beans, a little sausage. Let's see what that's all about. Now, this is certainly not much in the texture department, this entire thing. The beans are soft. You know that they're there, but they break down really fast when you start to kind of chew them or just mash them around in your mouth. The sausages are also extraordinarily soft and mushy, probably because of the retort packaging process, but I don't think these little baby sausages would have had a whole lot of texture even before they cooked them in the retort pouch. This is very mild, kind of bland. I really wish there was some salt and pepper in this ration, which there is not any salt and pepper. I'm going to save the sandball for later, even though it's not a big flavor enhancer. This will definitely fill your belly, but it's actually nothing I would necessarily look forward to if I'm being 100% honest. Maybe this is a traditional breakfast in Great Britain and or Ireland that I'm just completely unaware of. I know they do breakfast beans in Great Britain, so maybe they also do it in Ireland. Not exactly my favorite thing that I would like to have for breakfast, but here we're doing it. Nice little bit of fat pulling over here in the corner, which is good. If you're on a seriously hard ruck or have a really busy day in the Irish Defense Forces, that'll certainly help to keep you full. This sauce is really, really gooey. Probably the rusk, the wheat they were talking about, just to make it thicker and heartier and, well, bolster the calorie content. So this will definitely fill your belly, but if you're not used to having beans for breakfast, it'll certainly make you raise an eyebrow. Like, whose brilliant idea was it to fill me full of beans and then stick me in a foxhole with a bunch of other guys? Or like, you could just literally crop dust an entire trench with this breakfast. It would be pretty bad. Oh, I did get a nice little piece of tough and chewy, like pork fat back in there. That was actually a really good bite. That was probably the best bite out of the entire thing. The rest of this meat is just kind of plain and mushy and doesn't offer much in flavor or texture. But one thing I can say, this is certainly filling the belly. Well, there's a last hunk of that big weird luncheon meat style weird stuff. Ooh, poor Mrs. Ration Nerd. This is going to be a lot of fun for her. Ration Nerd having beans for breakfast. Right about 11 o'clock, she's going to not like me very much anymore. And, it's going to be my own damn fault. Well, and there it is. That is the last bite of that all-day breakfast, the beans and sausage action we were having. This ought to be a hell of a lot of fun in a few hours. It is certainly a belly-filling meal, even if it's not all that interesting. And this is a look out, Mrs. Ration Nerd spoon drop. And let's put these rented lips to bed, because you know it's coffee time. Not the best or biggest cup of coffee on the planet, but with the cream and sugar, it was absolutely acceptable. And maybe we'll clean the palate with a little bit of tea over here. This has had plenty of time to steep, so let's give that tea a little sniff, a little sip. Actually, it turned out to have a really nice black tea smell. And, that's not bad. Very mild, not a really high tannin content taste to it. I kind of like that in tea. Nice strong tea flavor. It's actually pretty damn good. 1 pack of sugar was absolutely right, tuned it up just fine. Your hot tea drinking mileage may vary, but that will very likely be acceptable to a whole lot of palates. Nice, mild tea, still has a reasonably strong flavor. That's actually pretty damn good. I cannot knock them for the tea. That's good stuff. And that was a nice neutralizer for the taste buds. So we're going to go over here and grab some of these biscuit brown hunks. It's a shame they got the shit kicked out of them, but we'll bring some of these up so you can see the cross section of the biscuit as well as that nice oaty whole grain texture these things are rocking. I really do love me some biscuits brown. I don't often get them in whole pieces, but hey, life happens. And we're going to rock out with our Andros cock out this morning and get some jam on these biscuits brown and of course the phone has to ring even this early in the morning because having a job really interferes with my hobby of being a ration reviewer. I call bullshit. Life should be a whole lot more fun. Work is kind of a pain in the dick. So yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So let's get some of these biscuits brown staged with some of this yummy ass Andrews strawberry jam. If you are a regular here on Ration Nerd, you have heard me sing the praises of Andros jam in general. The apricot, the strawberry, the peach, every single flavor of the Andros jam I've ever had has been rockin', unless there's like a dog butt flavor out there that I'm completely unaware of, but I somehow highly doubt it. This stuff is absolutely fruity, amazing, yummy, badass. There is a little bit of that yummy ass jam on a biscuit in the face. And that jam is absolutely sweet, tangy, bright strawberry flavor, really satisfying. These biscuits brown are probably one of my favorite British ration items. Mildly sweet, lots of whole grains in them. If you don't eat a lot of whole grains, these will give you just as much farts as the beans. We're looking forward to a really great, gassy, hot air balloon style day for Old Ration Nerd. They didn't survive the journey really well, but they are not stale. They are absolutely yummy. Absolutely. Love me some biscuits brown. Getting diabetes in the morning with Ration Nerd who's singing with his mouth full and gives 0 fucks. I really wish I could give you a bite, but I can't. The Internet of Things is completely imperfect. That is absolutely a really yummy combination. That Andros jam is amazing. Those biscuits brown are one of my favorite ration crackers or biscuits. Those are great. They're more like dessert to me than they are just like a standard cracker or biscuit. They are mildly sweet. They're absolutely excellent. And before we get into that flapjack, which for the life of me I can't figure out why in the hell they called it a flapjack other than just needing a name for it, we're going to try this apple flavored fortified beverage. Get a little maltodextrin and vitamin B and some fake ass apple flavor going first thing in the morning. That is interesting. I intentionally gave it way too much water, way over 500 mils, which is a great idea when it comes to these fortified drinks, in my opinion. That is actually much more pleasant. I have had a lot of British rations and by default a whole lot of fortified energy drink powders, and definitely one thing you want to do is do not follow the directions. Add between 100 and 200 extra mils of water to this drink. It helps to get rid of some of that fake flavoring. Water the flavor as well as the sweetness down a little bit. It makes it taste less fake and also not overly sweet. So there's a great pro tip for you. Pro as in like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, whatever. But there's a great tip from somebody who's had a lot of fortified energy drinks before. Put some extra water in that. It's a lot more pleasant. It actually tastes a little bit more natural, being weaker. It's not overly sweet. The fake apple flavoring that they're using in here doesn't taste as pronounced, so it actually makes it taste more like real apples. Water down your fortified energy drink. You will absolutely thank me for it. Now we're going to get onto this fruit flapjack, which I kind of just want to hold over the tray so every last little bit of it I can spoon into my face. This is essentially, it's like a big ass chewy granola bar or granola block. These things are absolutely amazing. My only bitch is that I got the little baby version, damn it, and not the big guy. So let's get a bite of this fruit flapjack and sing its praises together. That is chewy, sweet. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. We're bean juice and all. We're eating that. Nice. If you like oats, you will love this. You actually get the texture of the individual grains in there, which is really nice. A little on the like flaky and fall apart side, but that is okay because it has a really nice natural taste and a natural sweetness that you don't find with some granola bars that are just like slathered in like sugar or honey or whatnot. This damn thing is really good, chewy, really satisfying. This would be perfect for breakfast or dessert. Whoever named it might have been like out of their mind, but whoever created it came up with a really, really excellent, high calorie, satisfying ration item. This thing is off the hook. And since they're both out on the tray at the same time, you knew we were going to chuck a little bit of that Andros jam onto this fruit flapjack just for shits and giggles. There is some dried fruit in there, but the fruit flavor is not extremely pronounced. But we've just pronounced the hell out of it, at least the strawberry side. Oh, that is absolutely something for the taste buds to behold. That chewy, oaty, yummy, sweet fruit flapjack with just a little bit of Andros strawberry jam on it. That is about as gourmet as a pre-packaged ration item ever gets. That is yummy as fuck. And no, I wasn't fucking with you. I am going back for these crumbs because this bar is really good and I want every last little bite of it. All right, my friends. Well, that was breakfast. I'm going to sit here and nom nom on the rest of these biscuits brown. I am extraordinarily full. I'm not normally a breakfast guy, but hey, it's ration day, so I'm a breakfast guy on ration day. And there's not one single piece of these biscuits brown that I intend on leaving behind, nor a drop of Andros jam. I'll be back with you guys in about 4 hours. We sink our teeth into some lunch. All right, everybody, welcome back to lunch. We're going to have a nice big lunch today together, even though breakfast is still kind of sitting heavily on my butt. I would normally say it's sitting heavy on my stomach, but it's not. It's coming out the other end in leaps and bounds, as I said it would. Something about all that fiber combined with the beans in the morning has really turned my ass into a musical instrument, but that's neither here nor there. What we're going to rock out for lunch, we're going to get that fortified energy powder peach iced tea flavor. We're going to get our fruit flavored drink powder. This one happens to be mango, I believe. We're going to get those Just D's nuts. We're going to have the Pindi Chana Aloo with rice and some cola bottles because I love these damn things. Let's start getting all this crap out on the tray. I'm going to set these aside for just a moment so we can get these drinks made up. We'll start with the mango. Actually, it's mango and passion fruit flavored drink mix. Both of these require about 500 mils of water, so in the glass it goes. And that fortified energy drink powder, peach iced tea flavor. This one ought to be pretty damn good. Thankfully, only the fortified one has maltodextrin, so I'm not double dosing on maltodextrin, so I shouldn't get too many like really bad heart palpitations. Let's check out these nuts. And they did say peanuts, almonds, and cashews. The majority are peanuts. There are some cashews floating around in here, as well as some almonds. And those cola bottles, can't wait to get my mouth around these little suckers. These things are amazing. Last time I had these, I went kind of spastic for them. I really do like gummy candies in general, so this was kind of a no-brainer that they were going to win me over with the soda bottles. If I could get the damn package open, it is nice that they give you these in a resealable package in case you're not going to eat all of them at once. I am absolutely going to eat all of them at once, so that Ziploc bag is going to waste. But it is a really cool idea to be able to save some for later. We're certainly not doing that. Don't hate, just hydrate as usual. 1 full liter of water has been consumed in the making of this video. So lunch is absolutely going to be a very hydrating affair. Let's get these all mixed up and ready to go. We're definitely going to have to come back and give them a little swizz before we taste them, but let's go ahead and get this long grain white rice laid out there. These pouches are nice and hot. I had them boiling on the stove.
Wait a minute, boy, that how you live it. 10 toes in, we'll be boiling up some rations. I'm a big stepper, underground prepper.
As you can see, so let's get this rice out of here and see what that's all about. I'm not 100% sure if I've ever had rice in a British or, well, this is really an Irish ration, but it is a British production ration. Let's give that rice a sniff. That smells kind of stale, but you know what? It's rice in a retort, so we'll give it a break. Let's get that out on the tray. I do like the fact that this rice does not stick together. I like sticky rice, but I also like rice that each individual grain is kind of present and accounted for, not all clumped together. I kind of like it one way or the other, either completely clumpy or really separated like this. Now that I've gotten that outside of the package, it has an extraordinarily stale, weird smell. I really hope that's not indicative of the flavor. Speaking of which, let's go ahead, spread that out a little bit, look for any funkiness in there. I don't see any. Let's go ahead and get a taste of it and see if the taste matches the smell. Hopefully not, because it smells extraordinarily stale. Maybe that's just the packaging getting really heated up. Let's get a bite of it and find out. It's definitely the packaging and maybe some kind of preservative that they put in there. It has a really weird stale taste. It's not horrible, but this Pindi Chana Aloo is going to be 100% necessary to tame the funky taste of that rice. So let's take a look at that. A whole bunch of chickpeas. Take a look at that inside of the pouch. Nice and hot, ready to go. Indian food. I know, Irish people love Indian food, so they ought to be like really happy about getting this ration. Maybe, sort of, kind of. Ooh, that's hot. We need all that sauce. All of the sauce, please, to get that weird funky rice taste all mixed up in there. Before I mix that up with the funky ass rice, let's go ahead and get a bite of this. So it's mainly just sauce, chickpeas, and there's definitely some seasoning floating around in there. I don't see much in the way of any other vegetables, just the chickpeas. I know, chickpeas or beans, legumes, whatever. But there is a shot, a nice close-up, if you will, of that Pindi Chana Aloo. Let's give that a bite all by itself. That's hot as shit. Now, I do love chickpeas. I absolutely love the seasoning in here. Lots of curry. The chickpeas, the way that they're cooked, they're not mushy, so they almost kind of have a meaty texture, which is really nice for a dish that doesn't have any meat in it. Quite frankly, not 100% sure breakfast had any real meat in it either. This actually tastes a bit more meaty than the sausages and other weird meat-like product that was in the all-day breakfast, but we're definitely going to get this really yummy sauce all mixed up with that rice, because it does have a bit of a funny taste to it, and that really is a great portion size. Altogether, the rice and the main is 460 grams of food. It doesn't look like a lot on the tray, but let me tell you, 460 grams of just about anything should knock out a hungry belly. So let's go ahead and get this, well, kind of stale, stanky rice together with the Pindi Chana. Bring that up to you guys so you can see what I'm sticking in the face. And let's get a big old bite of that. Hopefully that Pindi Chana Aloo tames that stale rice flavor. Yes, it absolutely does. That's great. I'm really happy I decided to pair the Pindi Chana Aloo with the rice simply because it knocked out that completely weird stale flavor of the rice. Not to say that rice is stale or bad. It just has a weird flavor. We're going to go ahead and put our itty bitty portion of sambal out on this Pindi Chana Aloo. I don't think that's really going to go great with sausage casserole, but we are going to try. Actually, we'll try to get a flavor by itself. It's kind of difficult to do because there's not a lot of sambal in this package. But let's go ahead and get a little nibble and see what the flavor profile is like. I mean, and honestly, I'm not in love with sambal. It's extraordinarily salty, a little bit bitter, a little bit vinegary, but salt is the absolute main takeaway of that flavor profile. It's not great. I don't know that it's going to help the Pindi Chana, but we're going to throw it on there anyway because we have it, because why not? So you really get just a tiny bit of sambal. I'm just going to put it on this side and just kind of lightly massage it into the meal here, and then we'll get a bite of it with the sambal, see if that saltiness brings out some extra flavor of the Pindi Chana, hopefully. So let's go for it. Let's wreck some of this main with a bit of that sambal on there and see if that really changes the dynamic of this dish. Actually, it didn't change it very much. It just made it extraordinarily salty. So not a great look as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a fan of sambal unless this particular packet of sambal is not indicative of sambal in other areas of the world. It's just not a great flavor. It's super salty. You could have accomplished the same thing by adding some salt and pepper to this ration. I'd really love some black pepper on this Pindi Chana Aloo, but it's just nowhere to be found. One thing I do like about this, it has a really, really satisfying chew. The chickpeas are not overly cooked, which is really, really nice. They give you something to really chew on. I guess if you wanted to, you could just kind of smash them up and swallow them. Probably not the best idea for your digestion or the poo you're going to take after you consume this many chickpeas, but you've got a lot of carbohydrates, amino acids, and protein in these chickpeas, so down the hatch they go and then out the butt later. That is the story of my life. But this really does have a great texture. It's actually enjoyable to eat. And this is definitely one of those mains that lends itself well to having a rice that comes with it not be sticky. So that way the sauce can really get into the rice, kill that funky flavor. And also the individual rice grains really just kind of force you to chew it a little bit more. And that actually really makes this a satisfying main when you combine these two. I suppose I could have put the rice together with the sausage casserole, but I just didn't see it happening on my planet. The pindi chana and the rice seem like a natural pair, and we're just rocking a big ass lunch. You know, I was kind of hating on that rice in the beginning, but now I really love it. The really odd flavor has just been completely masked by the pindi, and it's just a really, really satisfying main. Even not being extraordinarily hungry, I'm just really in the mood to eat this now. As I was saying, before a piece of rice lodged itself in my windpipe, and I had to cough and hack for a bit, so I stopped the video. This has a really vibrant curry flavor. It's a really, really quality main. I would love it if there was some chicken in here, or beef. Just throw some animal in here. Pork, pindi chana, don't really care. Just stick it in there. And that is a really, really dense main. Dense in the sense that it's really filling me up. It's making my stomach feel rather heavy, which is great considering you're trying to fill up a soldier that is really active and burning a lot of calories. This is a pretty damn good way to do it. I mean, we could talk about those breakfast beans. They weren't all that in a bag of chips. But this main, combined with the rice, abso-fucking-lutely. And as with most ration items, don't be like Ration Nerd. Just sit and eat your damn food while it's hot and stop running off at your jaws. As this loses temperature, it's a little less pleasant. When it was really nice and piping hot, it was absolutely amazing. And before I've touched anything else on the tray, just consuming this main, the rice and the pindi, is over 650 calories. So that is definitely a belly filler. That was an excellent experience. You know what? Emily sent me this ration, and Emily, I just want to say thank you for this amazing experience. A little Irish Defense Forces ration. Even though I'm sitting here eating Indian food and I'm not having like a baked potato and a beer with a shot of whiskey, which is probably what a real Irish ration would be like. This Irish ration has been a hell of a lot of fun to crack into. So thank you, Emily. I really appreciate you. This is the last bite of that pindi chana aloo with white rice going in the face hole. This was a really good main, coming in at almost 650 calories. It is a belly filler, and it's yummy as hell. And that is a spoon drop. And it's absolutely time to hydrate. Let's check out some of this peach iced tea flavored fortified energy drink. That has a really nice peach iced tea smell. And as with the other fortified energy drink, I highly recommend doing about 600 mils. I did the same thing here. It cut the overt weird sweet flavor and just made that a really pleasant peach iced tea. Not extremely strong, but by watering it down, you get rid of some of that weird sweetener flavor. That's actually really enjoyable with an extra 100 mils of water. That's really good. Let's go on to this mango passion fruit flavored beverage. And that's not bad at all. In all honesty, it doesn't taste like mango or passion fruit to me. It just has a weird generic fruit flavor that is actually really enjoyable. So I have no issues with that. Mango flavor be damned. It's yummy. It's sweet, mixed up really well. Both of these are really yummy drink options. That one is the one you'd have to be careful of just because of all the maltodextrin in it. Unless you're a soldier, in which case that much maltodextrin is probably going to mean nothing to you because you are doing a lot of work that I am not doing. But these are really good drinks. We're going to hydrate the hell out of ourselves. 1 liter of water with lunch. I can do it. Can you do it? You really should be. Let's get into these nuts. So we have almonds, peanuts, and some cashews. We'll get a little bit of everybody, little happy family going on. Drag those up to you so you can see these nuts. And I'm hoping that these have been roasted. They kind of look raw. I'm going to be really sad if they are. Let's get a mouthful. And those are an affront to nuts everywhere. Nobody wants their nuts to taste like that. These nuts taste nasty. They're raw. They're not roasted. They're not salted. They just don't taste great. They have a very earthy flavor, a mildly squishy texture that you don't get with roasted nuts. Like there's really no snap to it. It just kind of squishes and falls apart. I'm not a fan of raw nuts in any way, shape, or form. If you are, well, I guess your mileage varies, but these are nasty. I'm not eating them. They don't taste great. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not stale. They're not rancid. They don't have any of those flavors. They just do not taste the way I am accustomed to nuts tasting. I don't like raw nuts. I like my nuts a little on the salty side. Do with that what you will. Soundbite it for all I give a shit. But those nuts are nasty and no more of those nuts are going in this face. So we're going to move on to one thing I've been looking forward to ever since I saw them come out of the bag. These cute little soda bottle gummy candies. We're going to get a big old mouthful of these guys prepared for you. so I can drag them up there and show you how cute these little guys are. Little baby sugared gummy soda bottles. Take a look at those guys. Right in the face with them. They're gooey. They're yummy. They're sugary. Let's taste them. And those are great. I love these things. They have a very mild cola flavor. They're a little bit on the sweet side, even for me, but they're really enjoyable. Soft and chewy. The sugary exterior makes them crazy sweet. They have a very mild cola flavor. It's not like bursting crazy, but there's enough of that cola flavor there to really get a hint of it. Excellent chewy treat to have. Energy on the move. Yummy candy action. I don't care who you are or where you're from. You probably love the hell out of these things. I know I do. And while we're at it, we will crack into one of these wet napkins, give our dick beaters a little cleaning here at the very end of lunch. Get this bad boy out of here. I really do appreciate the wet wipes they put in British and now Irish rations. Nice, tough wet wipe. Maybe not reusing it too many times, but it is really moist, which is absolutely great. Nice, strong, stretchy fabric. The only reason I'm not really pulling on it is because it's so wet, I don't want to like splash my soda bottles with it. But it's nice. It can splash on the nuts for all I care. This is a really nice moist towelette, very wet out of the package. So if your butthole was really dirty, I mean, if your hands were really dirty, there's certainly enough moisture in this towelette to take care of that. This is a really good quality towelette, packaged really well in a nice foil and plastic package. They do a great job with these. I really do like a good moist towelette. Smells like absolutely nothing, which is probably what you want your soldier to smell like. You don't want them to smell like dirty grandma. That's a really bad idea. Well, my friends, that was lunch. We'd have a little bit more to talk about if those nuts weren't so goddamn nasty, but they are. I'm going to sit here and wreck the remainder of these soda bottles, and as the day progresses, I will sip on both of these and finish them off before I see you at dinner time. All right, everybody, well, welcome back to dinner. You know what we're having for dinner? The rest of the goddamn ration, that's what we're having. We're going to have that hot cocoa. We're going to get some Tutti Frutti flavored drink powder. We're having that sausage casserole, as well as that orange cake, which ought to be really bitchin'. So nice and simple, we'll give that gum a chew. Let's start out by getting our drinks made up. There is a lot of cocoa... There's a lot of cocoa mix in the bag and now on the tray. There is a ton of cocoa mix in here. I'll get the grams off of that here in just a second, but it really is a ton of cocoa mix in there, which is pretty damn awesome. This is 60 grams of hot cocoa mix. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. I mean, that filled up about, I would say 1/5, if not 1/4 of that cup. That's a lot of hot cocoa mix, which is really cool. And we got our Tutti Frutti action. I'm gonna get a smell of that before it even goes in the glass. I have a feeling this is gonna smell pretty awesome. And it absolutely does. It smells like kids' Kool-Aid, which is absolutely amazing, kinda. It smells really good though. Get that nice hot water for hot cocoa. And some Tutti Frutti flavored hydration. And a little swizzle for everybody. We're going to start with that Tutti Frutti because that is going to be like stirring chocolate mud. And there's a lot of mix in there, so I'm going to have to go gently with this and try to get it all mixed up. I put a lot of water in here simply because there is 60 grams of hot cocoa mix, and I didn't just want to drink some chocolate sludge. I actually wanted it to be drinkable, and I didn't want it to turn into a pudding. So I'm going to stir here for a little bit, and I'll fast forward through all this nonsense for you guys. All right, now into this sausage casserole, which was boiled furiously for a bit, so this bag is nice and hot. 300 grams of that sausage casserole. Let's see what's in there. Looks like we've got some taters and carrots getting ready to fall out. Oh, that actually doesn't look too bad. Ooh, that's nice and hot. And that orange cake action. I've had these before. Absolutely love them. Gonna enjoy every last little bite of this thick cake-like product. It is really dense, kind of moist, also kind of dries your mouth out, but it's completely okay because it's yummy as hell. So let's get that out of there. Nice little wax paper wrapper on that bad boy. Little orange cake action. I really like the little pound cakes that this particular manufacturer makes. I've had the chocolate, I've had the gingerbread, I've had the orange, I've had vanilla. I'm really looking forward to getting into this one and many more. All right, so nice and simple, nice short dinner together. together. This sausage casserole doesn't look all that great to me. It's mostly sauce. There's 2 sausages and like one little baby hunk O sausage over here. A little bit of potatoes, some peas and carrots floating around in there. Otherwise, it just has a nice thick sauce, which is kind of okay. Not what I was looking forward to. Both this and the pindi chana aloo would have went really well with the rice. It's damn shame there wasn't a pack of rice for each meal. That would have made this just a whole lot more fun to eat, but it is what it is. First and foremost, we're going to dive into some of this hot cocoa because I am pretty sure it is going to be astounding. It has a nice, rich, deep chocolatey smell, and the first ingredient of this hot cocoa is milk powder, which is completely amazing. I'm like 4 sips in on that. That is really good. Nice, deep, rich, chocolatey flavor. It made a great portion size. 60 grams of hot cocoa mix is not to be fucked with. That is a big cup of really yummy hot cocoa drink. First ingredient is actually milk powder, which is pretty amazing, and you can taste it. It's a really quality tasting hot cocoa. Definitely like more like a milk chocolate, but a nice, deep, rich chocolate flavor. That is absolutely good stuff. If you like hot cocoa, you'd absolutely love this, kind of like I do. I'm not that big of a hot cocoa fan, but this stuff is really good. Being honest with you, if that wasn't so hot, it would be gone by now. So let's crack into this main. We've got this nice, thick, well, orange colored sauce floating around in here, or gravy, if you will. And we have some potatoes, we have carrots, we have peas. We're just gonna go ahead and grab a bite of this sausage, and we're gonna get a big old hunk of potato, maybe fish around for a couple of other veggies. Bring this up so I can drip it all over me while I show it to you guys. Oh, doink. Fuck it, it's gonna drip on me. Oh, that's nice and hot. So there is the first bite. Yes, of that sausage casserole. Feel the burn. I'm just gonna get this in my face and see what we're working with in the sausage casserole department. This sausage is definitely much better than the sausage we had with breakfast. It has a bit more texture, still very soft from being cooked in the retort pouch. Not a ton of flavor to it. This dish kind of reminds me of the same sauce base as the beans had in the morning. It's almost like they took like the excess sauce from the all-day breakfast and stuck it in here with the sausage casserole. It's just kind of okay. This could really use some salt, some pepper, some hot sauce, something to liven it up a little bit. Certainly would have been great with the rice. I don't regret my decision with the pindi chana, but I kind of do in a way, because it would be great to sop up all this sauce with some big old mouthfuls of rice, but it's just not to be, so sausage casserole in the face. And this main is definitely lacking in the texture department. The sausage doesn't have much of a chew. It's pretty soft. The potatoes are also really cooked extraordinarily well, which would be great if you had something in here to give it some texture, but you absolutely don't. The sauce base really does taste exactly like the bean sauce from the all-day breakfast. This is honestly just kind of okay. If you were really hungry, you'd suck this down in, I don't know, T-minus 15 seconds, and you would certainly be looking for something else. I know this dish weighs 300 grams, but I don't think it's going to be all that filling, but we're just going to keep going at it. And this sauce actually does have mainly the same ingredients as the all-day breakfast. I was just reading over the retort pouch. They use wheat flour as a thickener, which is completely fine. And quite frankly, it's way better to have this more like gravy than it would be just like a weird soup broth. It certainly makes it easier to eat. It's just not all that enjoyable. There's not a whole lot of flavors going on, and I hate to say it, give me some hot sauce or something. And quite honestly, this portion size isn't even bothering me. This ration has had a good bit of food in it. I mean, I did lose the nuts because they were horrible, but lunch was still extraordinarily filling, and I kind of designed it this way because I didn't want to have a crazy full stomach later in the evening, because that's never fun to try to go to bed when your stomach is still like sloshing around because it's ration day. So having a smaller dinner was definitely very welcome to me, so just this main and the cake and the drinks is going to be 100% fine for me. This just really needs something. Needs some crackers or something crunchy in there to throw a little bit of texture in there just to get your mouth to wake up. Kind of unidimensional in flavor. It really just tastes like the broth. The potatoes don't really taste like a whole lot. They just kind of sucked up the flavor. The sausage flavor was probably just kind of meddled in with everything, and everything pretty much has the exact same flavor, which is kind of a bummer. It is warm and it's relatively filling. It's just not all that interesting. It has been a supreme effort of will, I will, however, share with you, to not drip this sauce all over my shirt and my face. I'm doing a pretty damn fabulous job so far. I'm trying to go for like a clean shirt review where I actually get to leave the table with a clean shirt for once and not have to change my shirt after each meal. I'm rocking along pretty good today. Nothing spilled, nothing worn thus far. I'm working it pretty hard, y'all. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. And here we are down to the very last bite. Just some potatoes, a little bit of peas, a little baby carrot in there, and a whole lot of sauce. I'm not going to chase that sauce around the tray. It's just not that interesting. But this is the last bite. I guess I'll bring it up to you guys so you can see the last bite going in the face hole. This main has been, it's just kind of okay. Nothing really spectacular to report, but it'll definitely fill your belly. And this spoon drop definitely just falls in the meh category. And let's wash down some of that bean and sausage casserole with this really light yellow Tutti Frutti fruit drink. Ooh. That is really good. As you can see, almost gone. That's a really yummy flavor. If you don't know what Tutti Frutti flavor tastes like, neither do I. It's kind of like a mixture of strawberry, pineapple, cherry, mango, just like a whole bunch of crazy fruit flavors and just a hint of citrus to back it up at the very end. That is really light and refreshing. I did put the extra 100 mils of water in there just to make it just yummier for me because I'm the one drinking it. Your mileage may vary. They're a little strong for me when I mix them right at the 500 mil mark. Way too sweet. The flavors taste a little bit artificial, but when you put an extra 100 mils of water in there, it really dulls it down a little bit, which is a good thing because it's not overpowering, it's not oversweet, and it doesn't have that yucky mouthfeel like when you're done drinking it. Just an extra 100 mils of water makes these drink mixes so much better. And you're getting another 100 mils of hydration, and hydration is always absolutely bitchin'. So to get that fruity flavor out of my face before I embark on the orange cake, I'm going to go back and I'm going to slurp down a little bit more of this yummy ass hot cocoa. Yes, that is really good stuff. Now we're going to get into this orange cake. I've been looking forward to this all day ever since I did the unbagging and found out this was in here. Oh no, losing pieces of it. Let's give you guys a nice cross section of that really dense pound cake. Shelf stable food at its finest, in my opinion. If you like pound cake, you would love these little cakes. This is absolutely amazing. I'm going to break off a little piece of that. I don't want to waste a bit of it. I'm going to hit that with the sniffer and see what that smells like. That has a light, sweet orange smell, and I can't wait to stuff this in my face. In it goes. And this pound cake is excruciatingly good to me. Shelf stable item aside, just as a snack cake item, it is banging. It is only mildly sweet, really nice pronounced orange flavor, also a hint of vanilla in there. It is not thirst provoking. It's a little on the dry side, but it's so sweet and so tasty. It makes your mouth water. It's really good. I really love these pound cakes. I really, really love the ginger ones as well. I think orange is my favorite. All of these pound cakes are really good. The chocolate one seems to dry your mouth out a little bit. The orange one, though, absolutely not. Mouth a-watering for that sweet, orange, yummy-ass flavor. Nice, dense pound cake. So good. And this thing really has some weight to it. Like you can actually hear it hit the tray. It is great. I absolutely love these. That's actually going to fill you up pretty good because it's so dense. It almost reminds you a little bit of a scone, but without that mouth-drying sensation that a scone gives you. If I had this as a ration dessert, I don't know, 1 or 2 days out of the week, I would certainly be a happy soldier. I am absolutely sad to see the last bite of this cake go. Needless to say, that is an 85-gram cake of absolute yummy orange fucking goodness right there. And I kind of hate to do it, but we're going to have to try out this gum. This is also produced in China for Vesti Foods UK. Again, not sure if that's the greatest idea ever, but we've got some Chinese gum distributed by the UK. And I'm going to get this gum out of here, stick it in my face, and I'm going to lament the passing of that yummy-ass orange flavor in my face. So we'll get a couple of big-ass chiclets, and you get 6 pieces total in here, 9 grams of dental gum. So let's chuck that in the old garbage hole and see what this gum has to say. And that gum's actually really good. Nice, sweet candy coating on the outside. Really nice, soft mint flavor. I'm actually not hating on the gum at all. I'm just a little sad that it got the taste of that orange cake out of my mouth. But that gum is actually really pleasant, really enjoyable. A little tough on the chew, which is good because it forces you to macerate it with your teeth and get lots of the food bits out of your teeth and into the gum, which sounds really disgusting, but is kind of helpful for your dental health. Well, that was it, guys. That was dinner. I'm going to finish up that hot cocoa because it's absolutely yummy. I'm certainly going to suck down that Tutti Frutti so I can get all the hydration absolutely necessary to be an absolute rock star. You know what I'm talking about. I'll save all the babbling for the wrap-up. So thank you guys for joining me here on Ration Nerd, where we got into this Defense Forces of Ireland 24-hour ration pack Menu A. This thing expired in 2025. We gave zero shits. We ate it anyway. Everything was 100% fine. I was really excited to get into this ration from Ireland, and then I realized it's just a British ration with a different label on it, but that's okay because British rations are pretty banging. I was really hoping for a taste of Ireland, which is what a lot of us hope for when we get into a foreign military ration. There are some rations that you get that are just made from components from all over the place, or maybe just farmed out to Jamipsa, and then yes, it's a really cool ration, and yes, it happens to be from that country, but it's all stuff that you've had before. This was kind of that same experience for me. It was a hell of a lot of fun though, seeing what the Defense Forces of Ireland get to eat for 24 hours for its weight and its calorie content. This was a pretty damn good ration, and it had some awesome items in it. Some of the mains were kind of ho-hum, but otherwise, this is certainly a great day's worth of food. And if you'd like to have a great day, you know what you could do for this guy? You could totally hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and you could also talk to me in the chat. It is always a great time to hear from you guys. And if you're too stingy to join me on Patreon, that's okay. You could also become a member here on YouTube. And if you're even too stingy to do that, at the very least, do me a favor and hit that damn like button. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a comment. Give a brother some love. This isn't exactly an easy thing to do. All of us content creators out here, most of us work for a living, and we're doing this as a side gig or just for fun. It's a lot of hard work, not just me, but all of your content creators. And if you're flat broke and you just can't afford to do any of those things, that's okay. There's always the like button. There's always that hype button. You could hype the video. I'd greatly appreciate that. And you could always just talk to me in the chat. All channel interaction is great. That's what the haters don't understand when they're sending stupid messages in chat trying to shit all over me that all the messages are good messages to YouTube. So keep on hating, haters. Everybody else, you know how this shit goes. If you can find a cooler ration than this Defense Forces of Ireland 24-hour ration pack menu number A to put in your face hole, you absolutely know what to do. And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you because I'm just that kind of guy. What you do is eat them up.
Man, what are you doing? I'm trying to watch Sanford and Son. Wait, I don't care if you're done filming. I ain't ready. Like, you gotta go do your thing. Like, I'm right in the middle of the episode where Sanford be telling Edith that he coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, he be doing that all the time. Shit, I don't know, man. I was just sitting down. I was having a little drink. Next thing you know, this motherfucker be like, hey, it's your time to be on. And I'm like, man, I ain't ready to get on that thing. I'm over here, like, trying to do my thing. Just sitting here drinking some wine and eating some cheese and watching some Sanford and Son. You know, high society stuff, because that's what I be doing here in Ration Nerdland. I be doing high society things. You know, like, I gotta catch up on all my vintage television. Like, I'm gonna get me some Jeffersons right after this. And then I might even watch some Welcome Back, Carter after that. And if y'all are old enough to understand these references that I'll be making, then you're part of the cool kids club, because that means you probably watched that shit when you was growing up and you just as fucked up as Sling Ration is. So it's all good. So you can just keep on coming back, because we like brethren and sisterin. I think that's how you say that, but of the Ration Nerd Nation, whatever y'all be wanting to say, I don't even know anymore. Sometimes I just run out of shit to say, and I'm just kind of like blathering, like reaching through my mental pocketbook of like shit to like possibly be running off at the mouth at the end of this video, so the names of all the Patreon and YouTube members can be like scrolled across the screen. I think maybe I need to like go and try to find some better career choices, because I'm not really sure this is working out for me. The pay is pretty abysmal. I mean, you know, I do get enough just to get like some fripple every once in a while, but like I stole this wine. Like, I mean, I can't tell you where I stole it from, because then I'd like getting in trouble and stuff. So, yeah.